Welcome to the Traditional Bow Hunting Wilderness Podcast. This is Jason Samkoviak. In this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about a couple different styles of practice with your bow, with a traditional bow. We have a lot of, there's stump shooting, there's bag targets, there's 3D, there's, all this kind of stuff. But when it comes to actual practice, there's two types that you should be practicing. One is going to be practice for your form, or what we call bear bail, or empty bag practice, or that kind of thing, where it's all about form, where you're not paying attention or thinking about accuracy at all. You're up close to a bag target or a bail target or whatever it is, but you get up nice and close. You're not paying any attention to where you're hitting. Often you can do it with your eyes closed, which is what I do, and you're solely working on your form and you're trying to get that stuff together. Making sure you're pushing with that bow arm, making sure that release is it doesn't matter if you're a pull-through release or if you're like me and it's a dead release, whatever you want to do, but you want to concentrate up close on that bag for a bunch of arrows on a regular basis, where you're solely working on making sure that release is good, that follow through is good, that bow arm is good, that everything is lined up, that everything is solid, where you're not concerned with accuracy. Because what I find, and I think a lot of people find, is that it's really hard to concentrate on both. As they said, what was that movie with Tom Cruise, Last Samurai, when he's in there and he's getting his butt beat on that practice session, and the guy stops him and tells him, too many minds, no minds. And it makes perfect sense. When you're trying to do something that's as mental as traditional bow hunting or traditional archery is, it's important that you don't have, when it comes time for an actual shot, whether it be one that you're doing at a target or one that you're doing at live game, the last thing you need to be trying to think about is your release, your anchor, your bow arm, your follow through. That stuff should all come natural. How that's done is practicing shooting for strictly that stuff and not worrying about accuracy. I find, again, like a lot of people, that I cannot concentrate on my release, my pushing my bow arm forward, not torquing anything, and keeping my follow through legit, and focusing on where I want to hit. I'm going to actually show you the differences. It's been about a week and a half since I actually shot my bow due to work schedule, and so I haven't shot in a while. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up and I'm going to show you where I focus solely on form. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a little farther. I can only get about 12 yards in my garage, but I'm going to go back at the back end of the garage. And when I shoot there, I'm going to put the camera, it's going to be on me the whole time. But you're going to see the difference in my form and in my shooting. And I know I hate that word form, but as far as what I do consistently, you'll see the difference when I'm doing it focusing on my release and I'm pushing my bow arm and my follow through and everything being perfect there, versus the difference of how it is when I actually shoot when I'm trying to hit what I'm looking at. You'll notice that some of that stuff goes out the window a little bit, because all my focus is directed on where I want my arrow to hit, that spot that I burn in with my mind. So you'll see the differences in there. And now what I'll do is I'll spend a ton of time shooting strictly for that form, strictly shooting on the bag. And again, it doesn't matter what your form is. You know I can't stand form. It doesn't matter where you anchor your bow. I don't care what you do. Just do it consistently the same time over and over and over again. So when it comes time to make the shot on an animal, or when it's time for you to focus that attention strictly to where you want to hit for the accuracy, all you're thinking about is that spot you want to hit. Everything about what you're doing is natural, and you're not thinking about it at all. That's the whole purpose of these two different styles of practicing. One being close range, concentrating on what your body's doing. The other one being when you're shooting for accuracy, trying to hit what you look at. Let me get the camera set up, and I'm going to show you the differences. Be right back. Okay. Now I'm only about 3 feet away from that bag, maybe 5 feet away from that bag. It's right there. But I want to show you when I'm focusing on shooting form and shooting what I'm doing. I'm paying attention to where I'm anchoring, making sure that anchor and that release hand is smooth and stays right there, that dead anchor. A dead release, I'm looking for pushing that bow arm into the target. I don't like to be static. I like to constantly be pushing forward, and I want that follow through. I do shut my eyes when I do this, not till after I've actually already lined myself up. But this is basically that practice for the form. I'll shoot, what do I got here? I got 4 arrows. So I'll shoot 4 here, then I'll shoot 4 where I'm actually paying attention so you can see the differences. So here we go. Not paying attention to where I hit. I don't care where I hit. Doesn't matter. All I'm doing is for the feel, how it feels. Just trying to make sure that I'm paying attention to pushing, pulling, and a good release. And that's all I'm after. Pushing, pulling, and a good release. Now I'm going to hold this one a little longer so I feel it. That's what I'm after. So there's the difference. So you can see what I'm doing there. Now I'm actually going to go back and I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to focus on accuracy, forgetting about my form, and we'll see if there's any differences in what I'm doing, you know, to see if it makes any kind of, you know, if I'm doing the same exact thing I was, or if I'm doing something different. But back there, I'm not going to pay any attention at all to what I was doing with any part of my form or anything. All I'm going to do is be focusing on a dot in the middle of this bag. That's it. So I'll set you up and we'll take a look. All right, here we go. This one, like I said, all of these, strictly about hitting what I want to look at. I don't care about form. I'm not paying attention to nothing. All I'm focusing on is that dot right there. There we go. So I don't know if you're going to see much difference, or if there is. I like I said, haven't shot for a while here, for over a week. So I'm anxious to actually play this back myself and see if the difference is noticeable. See if I was plucking my string. See if I wasn't pushing my bow. See if I was jumping off. The hits are not horrible on there. Like I said, 13 yards. There's, you know, I don't know if you can, let me set this down here. But it's not fabulous, but let me spin this around so you can see. Not great, but definitely not a, I mean, I got 3 that are definitely right there as a nice tight group together in that bag target, and then I got that one off. But that's where I was aiming at, was that spot right there. So definitely not horrible, all of them in a nice, pretty, you know, in a you know, pretty good group. But again, I wasn't paying any attention to any form stuff, strictly looking at where I wanted those arrows to hit and what I wanted it to do. So we're going to go ahead and take a look and see what the difference is, and I'm going to end it at this so you can draw your own conclusions from it. But both of those 2 different styles of shooting for practice are both very important. So make sure you combine the 2. Don't let it be where you're just strictly shooting for accuracy. Make sure you mix in some time where you're actually shooting for form as well too, to make sure that that becomes second nature for you. Can't do both at the same time very well. Practice one time, practice for form and consistency one time, and then the next time maybe practice for some accuracy. Mix it up, get some differences in there, and see if it benefits you. Thanks for listening and watching, and I will be back with more stuff soon. Thanks. Bye.